Too long. About 30 seconds left. Apologies, folks.
That's not free kick being taken here.
Yes. It's all over.
I've got a free kick going still.
Don't worry, you missed it.
My laptop rebuilt. I could call the meeting to install the standard settings. We're all recording it now, so all that jollity has been recorded. So, item 1 on the agenda, please, to receive apologies for absence. The ones I am aware of, I believe, are Councillor Watson and Councillor Payne. Item 2, receive declarations of interest, request for dispensation. As far as I know, there's no reason why we've got anything untoward, but if there's anything that comes up where you need to declare interest, you know to do so immediately. Item 3, matters arising from the previous minutes not itemised on the agenda. Councillor Pearson, you keep charging.
Right. Can I just ask a
Point of order?
or a question to the chair? Given the discussions we've had, is the chair minded to use his powers to adjust the agenda and clarify the agenda at all? Particularly as there are members that have requested items on the agenda that have not been itemised, and there is a very important statutory item of the minutes that have not been put on the agenda for the second month in a row.
Namely?
Sorry?
Namely.
Minutes of last
The
minute.
minutes of last meeting, we are expecting 3 sets of minutes. We are missing the agenda item traffic calming, which is asked for 2 months.
1 second, it's just
If I can just, I'm asking the chairman whether he is minded to change and add formally these items to the agenda which I requested.
I'm only asking you to go slower so I can catch what you're saying, Simon, with respect to please.
Traffic
respect.
calming as requested last month and carried over to this month.
Traffic calming.
Minutes of the last meeting, of which there are several outstanding.
Yeah, because there was a minute.
Parking update, which is requested by a member of the public, which we discussed why you want to be included.
Yeah, which you saw all the other.
And there's a 4th one which I'll have to refer to my notes to remember. All as per my email in advance of the meeting.
I also have a point of order, which relates to item 9, staff matters. This full council is not here to approve or indeed propose any issues. We have a personnel committee that makes recommendations to this full council in order to ratify the decisions made by the personnel committee. So the wording here is incorrect.
Might be difficult to adjust that one.
We could withdraw the 2 items under
Indeed, yes.
staff matters. They could be withdrawable. In fact, all 3 of them could. And then the personnel committee can recommend to the September meeting. But the decisions will have already been made. That's what the personnel committee does.
I don't think the personnel committee has the authority to make decisions. I think
It's
they
just
have the authority to make recommendations.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
If I may, the purpose of the personnel committee is to oversee the organisation, employment, management and terms and conditions of employment of the council and to make appropriate recommendations to the council for ratification.
Absolutely.
You believe the personal committee has not made a recommendation relating to.
Well, we haven't had any minutes, so
No,
further? No.
What I agree with, so I'm going to
propose that we defer the
yes,
items.
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
As well as leaving that.
Yeah.
And then we'll
So
vote.
can we just say,
As proposed, second is Adam vote.
Councillor Winfield and Councillor Ware. Is that items of item 9? Returning to the original. Sorry.
Do we need to all vote on that then?
Sorry, yes. Do you wish?
we use vote, yeah.
The proposal is that we defer those items until after such
Yeah.
formally recommended. Those in favour, please. Deferring. Thank you.
And I'm sorry to add,
Yes.
but the item 13 also relates to the personnel committee,
Yeah.
and so that too should be deferred.
Item 13. Grievance policy.
Yes, the grievance policy is part and parcel of personnel committee.
The policy has to be approved by the whole council.
Recommended from the personnel committee.
I think actually policies do come to full council, not to the personnel committee. In that case, that one does need to be deferred.
But it hasn't been to the personnel committee at all.
It was just given.
Well, I think that the policy has to come through the committee.
Well, the thing is, policy can come to the full council, like the standing orders, like all the ones I was trying to get through earlier, you know.
Would it not be
Grievance.
good practice that the personnel
Yeah.
committee go through it first before it comes to council?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean,
Given its terms of reference. I understand what you're saying, Councillor Winfield, but I think
This is
it's
specifically
We
for
wouldn't want to be breaking out the whole grievance procedure here now.
No.
Otherwise we'll spend most of the evening doing it and do nothing else.
right.
Yeah, so who's going to propose?
Okay. Thank you. Right, so you're of the opinion that we can't approve the grievance policy at this stage because it has not been to the personnel committee first. That's
That
what
was
we
what I
believe.
said, but I am, you know, I'm going to change my
I
mind.
was mistakenly of the opinion that it was that the policy that comes before the full council would be sufficient.
If I may, Mr Chair, I would like, if it is going to go to the personnel committee, to have dispensation to attend and have the time to speak, because there are a couple of points I would have actually raised about the content of that policy. So if it does go to committee, I may have you to remain.
Of course, because no one could be identified, so it isn't a breach of confidentiality. That's my advice.
In which case, can I propose that we defer item 13 then? Could I have a second? That's Walpole. So I propose we, all those in favour of deferring item 13?
So, Judy,
Sorry, how many, how can I read that, please? Those in favour of deferring the grievance policy, please indicate 1, 2, 5, 6, okay. That is passed.
so Judy's again. So Judy's against, Claire abstains.
Right, returning to the original one,
Mr. Chairman, can I make a proposal?
I believe we've only had one set of minutes provided.
Can I make a proposal that, if you're minded to, that we add an agenda item using your powers for the minutes, which is a statutory responsibility, to at least discuss where we are. I'm happy for the other items to be covered under Councillor Markham's report slot. I don't know if Mr and Mrs Law are here, I don't. Mr Law, I'm around faces. So we can cover it under Councillor Markham's report, and just add the minutes as a formal agenda item, because it's a legal requirement for us.
least one of the committees. Yeah, that's what I would say, because I've done it now, so. And they've seen it in good time
In that case,
with the agenda.
I propose to adjust the agenda. Could I have a second for adjusting the agenda so we can keep
The minutes
minutes?
that you've had.
So I'm proposing Councillor Pearson has agreed. All those in favour of adjusting the agenda, please indicate.
So to just sit down.
Just to approve the minutes
Agreed.
on
Minutes
Friday,
that-
which was the last.
Which was sent out.
Which was sent out along with the agenda pack.
Right, so these are the agenda minutes, these are the minutes from the June meeting.
The 24th of June.
No, can we summarise the status in terms of minutes? Because we're in quite a pickle in terms of minutes.
The set that has been sent out is the one from the 24th of June.
Okay,
Did you receive that?
You should have received
I
it.
did.
Everybody should receive that.
Who was having
So it's this
Yeah, I haven't done it.
document.
I mean, I have done it, but they haven't completed.
We still have minutes outstanding from previous full council meetings though.
I think there are standing ones of the 3rd of June, which I think are in the process
Yes.
of being corrected.
There are, yeah.
And the
there are.
16th of June extraordinary meeting, there are no minutes outstanding.
Yes.
So the only one we discussed, as my understanding, is the
Is the
24th of June,
most
which is
recent.
circulated in the last weeks.
The ones that I'm confident about are the ones that you have in front of you for the 24th of June. So, at this point, to get back on track, I would like to propose accepting these minutes for the 24th of June. Could I have a second of this?
Mr Chair, sorry, I just have
Point
one small point. On the last item, which is 26107, it's recorded that,
Yeah, go on.
it's recorded that Councillor Winfield would like the council to ask Councillor Page to step down. What I actually said was, might we ask him whether he would like to stand down? That makes it sound as though I want him to go, and actually what I was expressing was maybe
Might you consider?
maybe he might consider, but not that we asked him to stand down.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
So we need to write in black. Well, wait, hold on a moment, because
There are
Sorry.
there were a number of significant factual errors in relation to this meeting
yes,
in the minutes. So I would be not prepared to approve these in any shape or form because they're just wrong at the moment. I'm afraid that we should take them away and rewrite them.
Namely?
What, these minutes?
Namely,
I'm not sure about the wording around the AGAR approval.
yes, because, no.
Because it refers to Councillor Winfield's motion, we put in a motion and various things. The IT policy, I think, is ambiguously worded. Anybody could read that and think that I'm suggesting that people, that members are okay using their personal email as opposed to their council
Yeah.
emails.
But do you remember, can I just say, that we were going to, we all agreed officially that we'd use these as interim.
Agree, but the wording as it stands implies, if you read it, it can be misinterpreted. It's okay to use personal emails as
Okay.
opposed. It also doesn't make sense if it says it in English.
So we need to,
It needs to be rebranded. And the following item, which is the planning of the golf course, which I chaired. The whole point of the meeting is that the approval of the social media statements is completely missed from this item. It needs to be added as an approval of the actual publication of our golf course response on social media plan. The bit that's here is okay, but the first bit is missing in terms of the approval of a social media communication which was put to the meeting
yeah, it was.
and has erroneously been sent out for this meeting. So I suggest they are taken away and unfortunately have to be rewritten and presented to council.
It's fine.
It's fine with me. On the matter that Councillor Howard has just brought up there, if you watch the tape back again, unfortunately I don't think we actually voted. I think in the spirit everybody agreed, we didn't actually vote. in correspondence with Lisa, I looked at the tape again and I think you did. We talked about it, we got to the point of it being proposed, and then I think there was an interjection from a member of the public, and we then kind of drifted into something else and we didn't actually vote. But what my opinion was, and what I shared with Lisa, just as my view for her to obviously use her own proper discretion, was that we've not really needed a resolution of the council to agree content for Facebook posts. So I think on that basis, that's why we went forward and put it on, which I
which I do.
like them to do.
And that's why I kept checking in with everybody, as in council, full council.
Very good. Under the circumstances, clearly I will defer the minutes until they're rewritten. We will bring them forward to the next meeting. Returning to our agenda, I will return to asking Councillor Pearson about EV charges.
Okay, well, since the last full Parish Council meeting, start of June, I've been contacted by about half the people on the Parish Councils with respect to the company Easy Charge, who have done something like 10 installations in Oxfordshire. I contacted them, they've come back to me and requested details on location, which I've given them. That's where we are at the moment, but I'm reasonably confident that these people will be reliable enough to go forward and actually give us a proper quotation.
I believe that wasn't the only one I think it came out in one of the newsletters, so apologies for missing me.
I had a cat kick at one time. Just a good dry.
Thank you very much, Councillor Pearson. The state of the payments of Councillor Mark, have you anything to add at this stage?
Nothing substantial, I am still pushing it. That's it.
Thank you. Right, we get to an important part of the proceedings, which is the public participation. In this case, I've been forewarned that somebody does specifically want to speak to us.
For 3 minutes only, every time.
Yeah, okay. And
Shall I go first?
You go.
Yes, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Take
Take the heat off.
Pardon?
Take the heat off.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that.
Okay,
yeah. If the hall and all its rooms were hired to full capacity, how much revenue would that bring into the community? That's my first question.
Okay.
Second question, what percentage of that capacity has been hired during the year of 25-26? And what are the current plans of the committee to encourage more use of this building?
excellent, we'll give you a full answer at the next meeting. The next one, please. Councillor.
Read mine.
Can I make a request that, particularly for those of us who come regularly, we have access to an email, Wi-Fi, hall Wi-Fi, so that we can follow the agenda and everything without printing it off. Would that be out of the question?
It's on the website.
I've got one here that says hall. Oh,
I can show you.
oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I'll show you.
In due course, Lisa, that would be
I
lovely.
will show you. I do. I have to do that.
Just needing the.
Yeah, I'll send you the order with how to do it.
Please, yes, the password to just get in so that we can.
I'll see if I've got it.
Oh, well done.
It's in the submission.
Thank you. That's fine. That's all.
That's all. Please.
Can the Chair confirm, please, that all councillors are now only using their parish council email addresses, not as was discussed at the last meeting of the council, where it was apparent that one councillor wasn't, in order to resolve what is a serious data protection law?
Yep. I can assure you that the councillors have now been told and assured that they will only put council business on the official council email.
And
the
how
official one.
are you intending to enforce that if he doesn't comply?
Well, he's not going to be sent. Forgive me. He's not going to be sent anything. He's not going to be sent anything on his personal email that's council business. I'm quite prepared to phone him up or indeed send it to his personal email. He needs to look at his council email. Nothing. But that's it. We will not now send whatever's been done in the past. We will not be sending anything to his personal email as council business. I can assure you of that.
And then they'll be missing out on everything.
Yeah. Sorry, next. Please, yes,
I am here to find out what further action has been taken by the Parish Council regarding our request for the expansion of residents-only parking to include Manor Lane. We were fortunate enough to be included in the recent OCC decisions meeting on the 18th of June regarding highways in the Oxford area, which also included 2 items referring to Shrivenham. Please note, we were somewhat surprised that there was no official representation by Shrivenham Parish Council. We have forwarded the OCC decisions meeting outcomes to the Parish Council Clerk for your perusal. See item 15D. In the OCC decisions meeting, we were advised by Councillor Gareth Epps, Chair of the meeting, to reapproach Shrivenham Parish Council to request you to put to the OCC Department of Highways and Transport our request for residents-only parking in Manor Lane. By doing this, we would be creating a new and valid request which would be given to its own section and hearing in any future agenda. At present, this request is not being taken seriously by the OCC because it's not official. Thank you for your time. I look forward to your comments. And by the way, number 10 and number 12 are being offered parking in the High Street. This is completely unacceptable. I'll offer a challenge to all of you. Park your cars 100 yards from your house when you go shopping and carry your shopping to your house. See how you get on. Thank you.
And thank you for coming to see me earlier.
I also have our statement from the meeting if you'd like to see it.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to see me earlier to advise me of this. I will restate what we were previously told so that everybody's aware, which was that OCC had a policy that they would not allow this at all because we'd asked specifically about your circumstances in Manor Lane. I am more than happy and will promise you that we will now get hold of Mr. S. We will send in a formal request for you because you're in the unusual position of being the only person on Manor Lane without any off-road parking. And we will attempt to get you put onto the agenda for this. Obviously up to the council, but in my view it's something I would entirely support. I'm bound to say I was very surprised by OCC's response in this case, but I sincerely hope that you succeed.
You've seen the reply that we had from the OCC. I forwarded the email
Can I just
Only.
correct a couple of statements? Councillor Mark and I had several meetings with the officers concerning the drafting report where your concerns were absolutely discussed and has been noted in the consultation documents, etc. We have been in meetings where that was specifically discussed. The officer was unable to put forward that as a resident scheme because it's outside of the rules of the OCC, and he was not minded to put that forward, so there was refused in terms of the subject of that meeting. So I'm happy for it to be picked up again, but my understanding is the OCC officer will just
Well, I'll
say it's
come to
outside.
this meeting and I'll go to another OCC meeting. There is no other answer.
Yeah.
There really isn't.
I just wanted to share that it was part
I
of
want to share with you, we had no representation at that meeting. At that meeting. Why?
Why? Because we have,
It was a waste of time.
No.
We've
And
been having separate meetings.
We had many planning meetings before as part of the preparation of the report that went for consultation with officers. We had several meetings, Councillor Markham, the chair, and myself, in the preparation of that, where all the feedback was discussed and the key items were being put forward. So that was done. I saw your representation at the meeting, and it was duly noted. I realised that the High Street offering is not what you wanted, but the council tried to do something as an offering in terms of listening to your complaints. But the objection that the officers will say is, if we take forward that, before you know it, every part of Shrivenham will be residence parking and permits, and that is not in keeping with the village.
That's not actually required, is it? Because most side roads have off-road parking.
But then Hazel Lane will request it, which is also discussed in the preparation. Therefore, May will request it, which is also discussed.
Hazel Lane has mostly got off-road parking.
No, it has not. We've had many complaints about Hazel Lane, which is also considered as part of the consultation.
Well, then maybe they should have residents parking down there as well.
So,
It's easy.
I just wanted to explain for everybody to hear. It was discussed in the preparation. It was duly considered in the report. Obviously, it's within your right to ask again if that's what was directed in the meeting by the cabinet member, and we'll go through due process again, but we have already done that once.
Who instigated the parking restrictions on the High Street?
I'm sorry,
Who instigated the parking restrictions on the High Street? Was it the Parish Council or was it the OCC?
It was 3 years ago, and it was the Parish Council.
So did you discuss the possible situation of pressures on side roads
Many
at the time?
times. It has been discussed for 3 years.
Yes.
So did you also look at the take-up and decide whether it all needed to be resident-only parking?
It was discussed, and data surveys were carried out, and professional people looked at it for 3 years to get us where we are.
I guess the difficulty is, with any kind of consultation, you can't make absolutely everyone happy. You cannot include absolutely every exception. And I think one of the challenges is that the way OCC implements it, it doesn't want to make endless exceptions. It wants to have the exact same way that it's administering this as the same as it does in other areas of Oxfordshire, and that's why there's sort of that difficulty. But I completely appreciate your situation in that, you know, I would love to find a solution or compromise or something. And I have been advocating for, you know, can we get compromises? Can we get?
I think people were upset that they thought that parking riders were parking in the High Street. Is that right?
Well, I think
Whereas actually it was probably workers in Shrivenham that were parking there.
I guess
No,
we
they've
don't,
got
there's no
no
way of
parking.
knowing. I guess the issue is that we knew that parking was very difficult on the high street. People that wanted to go to the doctors, to the post office, to those facilities, couldn't find parking, and so weren't shopping at those businesses. And so that's why it was kind of brought to OCC to sort of manage the parking, because there wasn't another solution. So it has freed up parking spaces. We are seeing more of a turnover of cars, which is a positive impact. But we do appreciate we can't make everybody happy, and that it will negatively impact some residents.
Well, like the workers in the surgery have nowhere to park,
I do appreciate that.
which is totally
I do appreciate that. Their feedback was very heavily listened to. Unfortunately, OCC has a firm line on this that they cannot give exceptions to individuals like that. And they did offer that the surgery could park in the Memorial Hall car park, in Martin Lane car park. I appreciate it. I advocated for the GP surgery to have an exception, and I was told it was not possible. So,
Okay, I think we'll have to draw to a close at that point. The only question I have, do you wish us to formally request on OCC on the basis of what you were told?
Absolutely.
Well, okay, I'll give it a go. I'll do it. I'm quite happy to send it off, but I'm bound to say you've heard this. I'm not the only one who expresses surprise that you were given this offer. But I don't mind doing
You've
it.
seen it in black and white.
Yeah, no, I'm not disputing a word you've said. Forgive me. No, clearly you were told that. All I'm saying is I was very surprised that that was what they said, but we will try. I don't mind.
What agenda do you want us to?
Well, they would like us to ask formally.
What's the
Exactly.
agenda?
It says exactly there what they want.
Okay,
Thank you.
I will look that up and do it.
Formal application to OCC
Yeah,
for us to be included.
okay.
So when does that come to council?
Sorry?
It will be in September. Is the next, because we have summer recess.
Okay. So, Councillor.
Can I just, for complete transparency, I realised I was actually at that committee meeting, Oxford County Council, as a private individual. Just so
I
that
didn't know it was on.
just so that it's on the record, I was there in my personal capacity.
Okay,
Thank
that's
you.
good.
Okay.
That's good.
Any other member of the public?
Very briefly, Mr Chairman, can I suggest that there's a bit of forward planning going on here to find out where people can park before telling them where they cannot?
Yeah, that's.
Sorry, you've lost me. The rules for the parking apply to the high street. We know that some people have been told that they can park on our car park in Martin's Road.
Yes, but there's not a lot of accommodation, is there, for the number of cars that are used?
No, unfortunately, you're going to get some displacement, which is unavoidable because of the number of cars and
Mr Chair, I think also that it was raised months ago that perhaps the signing for Martin's Road car park might be beefed up somewhat.
yes, getting more road size bus is not as easy as might sound.
We can investigate.
Any more? In that case, let us move on. Thank you. To receive the County Council's report, Councillor Markham.
Thank you. As this meeting, of course, at the very beginning, I haven't formulated a report for this month, but you obviously saw last month's report with a very big focus on how we can reduce traffic and speeding in our communities. I understand that that's something that we want to discuss. I think the urgent thing that I wanted to bring to this meeting was around the consultation for traffic calming on Townsend Road. I've just received an update yesterday that essentially this was brought forward and designed by the developers, and it's a pot of money that's apparently due to expire fairly quickly, which I was not aware of, and I don't know if it's been communicated at all. Regardless, the key thing that we want is obviously there was a consultation. I think everyone was in favour broadly of traffic calming, but there was concerns about putting in speed humps or speed cushions because of the vibration and noise.
Yeah.
So essentially they want us to have Parish Council agreement that we want to work directly with the developers to amend the proposed scheme to have something that would work for residents. For example, a chicane, a giveaway, whatever you prefer. So if you are in favour of that, I can get you the contact of the developer and we can work directly and either form a group and help design.
Yes, they formally deferred the decision on it. My understanding is, and I'm going to put it to the council in a minute, that the most likely preferred option is that they put in their proper dragon's teeth marking, and they install a speed indicating device on the way into the village.
Yes.
The majority, I believe, is not even for a chicane.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
I will
yes.
seek the advice of the parish
Whatever
council.
the
We would very much like something like the dragon's teeth markings, and we would very much like a speed indicator device.
The speed indication device that was up until 3 years ago when we went up to 20 miles an hour is still there and unreplaced. It's covered because it still works at 30.
So an update on that, they are coming out to replace them, that is imminent. I don't have an exact date, but they realise that they missed them and they are coming out to replace them very soon.
I'm delighted to hear that. I can't enumerate the number of times I've brought this up.
Yes, I'm sorry. But yes, in regards to, because part of the consultation did involve the dragon's teeth and the new SID, speed indicator device. Yes, absolutely. If that's the only part that you want, almost certainly we can
I could just ask that the Parish Council wasn't, I only got this information as like you
Yes.
yesterday,
Yes.
so people have not been informed, and I've had a quick chat with a couple of people who
Sure.
suggested they didn't want a chicane.
Yes, that's
Can I
fine.
see?
Can I just for level playing field, just
Yes.
read out the exact decision that OCC has made
Please.
for clarity, and we can have perhaps a discussion about it. So it said part A, defer the construction of 3 pairs of speed cushion,
Yeah.
which you talked about. So that is the item that's deferred and open for further, like go back and see what we can do, what the village do want. It has said approve the traffic calming measures consisting of the Dragon's Teeth, the approach to the 30-mile-an-hour speed gateway, and the speed indicator light. So that has been approved. So what we're being asked to do is consider there's a pot of money that we're not sure how long we've got to redirect that to something appropriate that the village would like. So I would suggest that a interested parties work with Councillor Markham, including Speedwatch representation, to put a proposal forward. I don't know how much time we've got.
I
We need to find that out probably.
We need to find when.
Yes.
Just to check they are solar powered.
Oh, for the SID, yes, I'll double check.
Please, because in Farringdon, you'll have to tell.
Yes, no.
And then it's like maintenance.
Yes.
In view of the message that I sent out last night, I'd like to be party to any meetings that we have with Councillor Markham and OCC.
I would as well, actually, from having spoken to some of the residents who are right on the doorstep.
It sounds like we have a little team.
The feedback, just for context, there's a feeling of not wanting the chicane
Yes.
because it was a nightmare when the roadworks were on and the village ran to halt because of the other chicane.
Right, yes.
About 10 years ago or so, this council actually tried to remove that chicane
Okay.
because of all the problems it was causing, because of the priority in it being a main diversion route. When the four chance it goes wrong,
Yes.
the last thing you want is a restriction of the traffic going through the village.
Yeah.
So that plays a little bit. So I think we need to go away, think about it, and collate the great ideas and try and get something working.
At peak time, in the mornings, when there are roadworks on the 420, there are over 400 cars an hour coming into the village along there. If you then introduce a chicane, it's going to be a nightmare.
Traffic jam on the A4.
So can I just put it together? There's a group of people that are interested in us dealing with the developer on it.
4 members.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 4 members.
Yeah. Is everybody
Yes.
content that we do that, and then we'll Councillor Markham if you could
Yes, very much.
liaise with us?
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Is there anything else you wish to draw our attention to on the County Council?
No, other than just to say that there's been slight delays, which will surprise nobody, about local government reform. So, yes.
What's going on about that?
We don't know. So we don't have, we were due to be told early spring, summertime, we were due to be informed which model of unit we were going to be, 1 joint Oxfordshire, the 2 or the 3. That decision has continued to be postponed. It is likely that we're going to wait for the next Prime Minister before decisions.
Yes, so I'll make that one. Awesome.
Yes, so we don't know, because that would be quite tight timelines to get everything done, but essentially we just have to wait.
Okay, well, can I put up a further thing?
Sorry, John.
Apologies.
I believe we were going to do speed watch in this slot because
Yes,
it's
we
not
were, yes.
in the agenda.
That is us.
Yes.
So,
So let's do that.
if you want me to do it,
Can I just, when Anne second, just very quickly ask Councillor Malcolm, did you speak to the other house developer about the Cross Streets Park issue with putting in some sort of traffic control on the path? No, I
Oh,
sent you
yes,
information.
I'm working on it, yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Councillor Pearson.
okay. Despite the holiday season being upon us and people being away, we ran 14 one-hour sessions in a month. We reported 417 vehicles over the speed limits to Thames Valley Police. I refer particularly to Councillor Ware's comments about the effectiveness of speed calming or ineffectiveness of speed calming on Station Road. We find that traffic comes along there in bursts, and frequently it appears to be a case of we've aimed to get through while there's nobody coming the other way and we're not going to slow down. The road is now much busier than it was 3 years ago, and I'm not clear as to why that might be.
B4000 from London.
B4000 from Lambourne into the village.
Yeah.
It all started 3 years ago when there was all the roadworks at the White Hart roundabout, and all the traffic was diverted. And they found the pretty route.
They found a route.
And the pretty route is White Station Road, because they continue to use it. It's 420 is a nightmare.
Well, of the 14 sessions we did last month, 2 of them were on the end of West End Road on traffic coming in. We do quite a lot of work with the commuter traffic coming into the village at that end. You get about 120, 140 vehicles in the hour, and roughly 20 of them will be over speed. And one very nice lady stopped very recently and thanked us for being there. It made her children safer. Which is really nice balance compared with some of the comments. So, pretty good month. We could still do with a couple of new players on the team. Anybody knows anybody who might be interested?
Thank you very much. The district council, in the absence, they've both given their apologies for tonight, but I would want to say one thing, which the district council's report, which you may or may not have seen, includes the extraordinary statement that the Wales and South local development plan, which was being prepared and was going through its processes at long last for up to 2041. The government has issued an edict saying if it's not finished by the end of June, it's no longer valid. We need a new one done up to 2045 with the latest planning information. As a consequence, the June meeting at the District Council approved the process for starting to redo the local development plan at an estimated cost of £2 million for an authority which is likely to be demised in 2 years. It is, as they've said, an atrocious waste of public money. I would like everybody to be aware of it. If you get any chance to bombard Charlie and anybody else you know in Parliament and say this is a disgusting waste of public money, please do. Right. John's announcements. There's only a couple of things. One is for the councillors. In the first instance, we had a disgraceful meeting a month ago. I do not wish that to happen again. I would like to remind everybody that we treat one another with courtesy, all of us, okay, in accordance with the famous 7 principles of Nolan. Okay, I won't say any more now, but I would invite everybody to be courteous throughout, whatever your opinion of something is.
And that's
The only other thing, please, the only other thing I wish to mention is that the ADAR, as you see in the agenda, we finally got done on the public rights and now the financial matters. I want to receive the financial reports for May, that is, bank statement, bank reconciliations, and the income and expenditure. None of which gave me any headache at all. Does anybody have any comments upon any of them? In that case, I propose to accept the May things. I propose Councillor Brown has seconded. All those in favour of approving the May? Thank you. then get the actual payments, which are obviously for the month of June, which again nothing struck me as strange, but you may have a different view. Anybody, any comments on the payments, please? Councillor.
Can I ask, that just from my understanding, the two line items about SLCC membership and minute training, what they represent, please?
Do you want me to say?
You could.
Okay,
yes.
so it's Society of Local Council and Clerk, Councillors and Clerks.
Society of Local Council Clerks.
Council Clerks. And it's, thank you, and it's what my qualifications are in, and it's the very top advisory body for local government. So I have ILCA and SILCA in those, and it took me a long time to do the SILCA, to help me better understand the working of local government. My colleague, Mia, would like to learn how to properly write minutes because she has had no training, and it's worth investing in our staff.
Thank you.
Any other comments on the payments, please? In that case, could I have a proposer? Councillor Bartle has proposed, Councillor Winfield has seconded. Those in favour, please. Thank you very much. Item 9 is deferred. Item 10. I can update everybody on item 10 on the website. We have had a communication, we had a chat with a firm who looked into our new draft website and were able to correct us. There's a number of things that need to be changed on it, quite a lot in fact. The fonts, the photographs have to be individually named, the spacings have to be are laid down. In other words, in practical terms, it is much more efficient to start with a template which is in accordance with the new rules under WCAB 2.2. It's the accessibility rules for the government. We've got to meet these rules by the 31st of March anyway.
In order to pass assertion 10, otherwise we fail.
Yeah, so it's got to be done by the 31st of March. So we need to get on with it. It is my suggestion, my proposal to everybody, that we actually approve to get we have two quotes, one is less than the other, to get a firm to do it for us. They will populate they'll prepare the template for us, they'll demonstrate what we've done, they will give us, based on our existing ones, they will give us the various codependencies that you have in a form for us to all to look at, to check that we agree with them, this that is dependent on that kind of thing, all the way through. They will then build and populate the site based on what we've got and our improved things. Can I point out that there are special rules even for the way we put documents from now on onto the website? Not just this lot that I'm talking about, but for the future, we have to have, as an example, a heading, whatever it is, whether it's on an agenda, a minute, a policy. If it's a heading, and it's the main heading up at the top, it's heading 1 or 3, then heading 2, heading 1 and so on. And they have got to be the same and consistent all the way through all of our documents from now on. And we have no choice in the matter because it is the 2018 Act that we're following.
It's so that it can be read by screen readers for visually impaired people and people who are actually blind.
But it's a government requirement that we do it. And in practice, having sat down with the man for a good first part of an hour, I am entirely content that the way to get this done is to pay for the cheaper of the two companies to do it, rather than try to do it ourselves. I put it strongly to you that is a wise course of action. Well, the other thing that came out of it, is that The one thing we can do immediately to show progress is we can change to the gov.uk domain, which we need to do anyway, and we always knew we had to do it. I think it cost us 37 quid or something. They can have it done in 10 days. The only thing they need to know is what we wish to be referred to. There's only a limited choice, and I suggest strongly that we go with the original suggestion, which is that we will be Shrivenham Parish Council.gov.uk. I know it's a bit of a mouthful, but it does mean that nobody confuses us with anything else, and it says exactly what we are. If we just put Shrivenham Parish, those amongst you of older years will know that that usually refers to the church, which we are not. And there's a slightly shorter form, which I don't think is very helpful. Councillor Winfield.
Are there any grants available any longer? Because I know when I brought this, both the website and the .gov up, probably about 2.5 years ago, there were at that time substantial government grants that we could call down. Are any of those still applicable?
We will certainly have a look to see if there's any applicable. By none that I'm aware of, so I'm not saying.
Something of a rhetorical question, because I know that the answer is no.
Oh, right, okay. Okay. Councillor.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just when acknowledging the work that Councillor Page put into creating the website, albeit obviously we're being recommended to move to an external provider to create it, but obviously he put a lot of time and resource into building it, and I'm sure a lot of that will still be beneficial to support the building.
Not
And I
least
wonder if we should just
we just need to be
publicly acknowledge
Yes.
that in this meeting.
Thank you. I agree.
Absolutely.
Yes. So we'll make
Can I just
sure.
build on that? Just my understanding, I was trying to listen, that I might have lost my train of thought. So, Councillor Page is stepping back and he's stopping all work on the website. In my own words, he's basically handing it over
Yes.
what he's done to be
Yes.
built on and made
Oh, yes.
fine.
Yes.
Yes.
So what was it signed?
I have spoken to him, and yes, that
He's
is
aware of
correct.
it. And you referred to a review. Is that something that we can be circulated so we can understand what work has been done and what the gaps are that we need to complete as a scope of work for these
Yes.
quotes you refer to?
Okay, so can I talk? Because the process is with this company is that they fill out almost like wireframing the structure in a Excel spreadsheet, which will be circulated to full council, and it's really good if you can get the changes in at that point, but it's not the end of the world if you miss that. And then it will go back to the developers for them to adjust a template they already have for other councils, town and parish councils. And then we will keep that process transparent and it won't just be a little group, it will be full councils. And we'll also get we'll get people to hire for, and we'll test it, we'll be testing as well. I hope that will
Yeah, because the most, I'm just referring to my notes
Yeah.
of last month when this
Yeah.
came up, because
Yeah.
the most important part of this
Yeah.
is the requirements and being clear on what we're asking these people to do for you.
Yes.
Yes.
And working through, as you said, the plan, the scope and everything else.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I think that's something that we as a council need to make sure is right,
It will be.
all quotes are obtained, and
Yes.
we need to go through due process, yeah?
Of course,
Yes.
yeah.
Having looked at what was presented, I recognise the two companies are, this is an area that they specialise in, and they actually do websites for members of communities. I think one of them is called
Aubergine.
Yes.
Aubergine.
They too
Aubergine
much
and
and too expensive as well.
Yeah, but both of the companies that were referred,
Yes.
I am aware that this is
This is their speciality.
specialty.
Yeah, it is. It'll be fine. And we did ask them, did all of those examples that he showed us pass the accessibility? And he said yes. Because he just checks that he's got software to check it. So
So it is my proposal that we, first of all, that we accept that we go for a domain name shrivenhamparishcouncil.gov.uk. That's what I propose. Could I have a seconder for that? Because I'm going to change that whatever. Those in favour, please. Sorry.
There were about three.
Councillor Brown, sorry.
Yeah,
it's my
that's
fault.
around, yeah, and then.
Sorry. Councillor Ware, did you want to say something?
No.
Sorry, you got your hand up. I apologise. The second thing is, can we have approval to adopt the cheaper of the two quotes?
Which is some.
Have you seen them?
Yes, you have seen them.
Is there an issue on delivery time?
No,
No.
he's really
No.
Right.
6 weeks to do.
Ready to spring into action. Go on.
If
Is
you have it.
it cheaper that takes 3 times as long, I think?
Sorry.
I know that we have seen the papers, but I would like to just take another look
Sure.
personally.
It's not on the agenda to approve review quotes, so I think we need to
Yeah.
go through due process.
So that's true, that is true.
I suggest it should be
Yes.
circulated with a view to it being
Yes, okay.
formally approved.
In September.
Because last month it was just like, oh,
Yeah.
what was going
Oh,
on?
yeah,
Then we shared the facts and understanding, we can
Yeah.
then consider the quotes
You
formally.
are indeed correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So for September,
Yes.
this is other things that we're keeping next year.
I think they also understand that councils don't do anything through August.
They'll get it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. The next item was about electrics in the kitchen and Whitgate Hall. This is on the agenda due to a slight error on my part because, of course, the whole purpose of this is that the money to do the electrics that need to be done is already in our budget, but not, of course, a matter for the parish council. I apologise for wasting your time. We will return to it later this day, I
Yes.
believe,
Under trust.
under the trust. The second item, which is the kitchen refurbishment, which involves S106 money,
Because it's council-ish money.
we have, my understanding is we've agreed in principle to do it. We require 2 or 3
Three quotes.
kitchen
Absolutely
quotes.
three.
I regret to inform the parish council that we still have failed to get
It's hard.
3.
We've got one, and we might get another one next couple of days, but we've definitely got one, that's all.
Which
It's
I
not
should
for lack of
separate.
trying, it's very difficult.
I just don't respond.
Did we go to Howdens?
No, Howdens don't do that. They supply the things, we have to get their own fitters. Howdens
For
are
some
not.
kitchen area.
And they're quite difficult.
It's proving extremely
It is
difficult,
true.
much more so than I expected to get
No,
people's quote for our kitchen.
but we keep trying.
We will keep, we won't give up.
So I would move on therefore to item 14, which is the suggestion of using, getting some equipment to live stream council meetings.
Well, no, it's not to get equipment, it's to propose using SPC equipment, which already exists. So we have a spare laptop.
Right.
Really? Could we not use that?
I don't think we can just use a laptop on its own.
Why can't you? It's a council owned and it would be in a Teams meeting. It's what they do at Barrington Town Council. And at least
Where would you position it?
wherever you'd like to position it.
Well,
Wherever
Yeah, it makes sense. You could do that with
And then-
either its own webcam or an external
Yeah.
webcam.
Because if you're ever away,
Exactly.
how is anyone going to see it?
Precisely.
And how can anyone join?
Indeed.
So we used to have people like Citizens Advice report on their section because they could just dive in from wherever in the universe. Well, you know, in the UK. So I
Allow members
just
of the public to ask questions.
They can.
Yeah.
They can. I don't know whether they can do.
No, I'm in the parish council that does that.
Yeah, they do. The only thing, the limiting thing is that the members are not counted in votes remotely, but it is useful for them to follow things sometimes.
I
If they
will
can't-
certainly, when I'm away on my cruise holiday, when I always miss a meeting, I will
Join
absolutely join on Teams.
Yeah, I mean, maybe need to say anything, it's just quite, you could just be on mute. But that way we consistently have.
I'm happy to kind of do some fiddling around and stuff and try some things out if you like some systems.
I'm very used to it, so, I mean, yeah, I am not scared of it, because I do it very still all the time.
And to be honest, when we talked about, almost a year ago now, when we talked about the concept of recording our sessions, we did say we would use Councillor Winfield's equipment in the interim while we looked into using SPC devices, whether that meant we had to buy something or could use equipment that we already had. So it makes sense if we do already have something that could work, that we start looking to making that.
I like the idea of Teams
Teams that own that as well.
because Teams is an interactive thing. You can actually take questions, you know, from people. The way that it's done in the OCC committee, they had actually had a big screen, so the person who was talking from a remote
And that
location.
as well, I reckon.
Yeah, so you know, there is that.
Yeah,
Sorry, Councillor Hull.
Just a quick one. Obviously, you just said the higher echelons of local democracy use this day in, day out in their meetings, so it makes sense to do it. Also, just to point out, in the earlier conversation, there is functionality there, but it will automatically generate minutes and key points that can give you the starting point for the
So I take it that the general feeling is people are quite happy to do this and will explore how we do. Is that true?
I'm overjoyed. I will continue to do my Facebook because obviously I have a following that's where they can get their council meetings from.
Do you then stream on YouTube?
I download it from Facebook and then I upload it onto YouTube. I'm absolutely thrilled.
Okay, I think
Compared to a year ago, when everybody was sitting on one side of the room.
we have happy unanimity. I'm very
Do we
pleased.
need to vote on this? I know it says it's to propose.
Propose that we do need to vote officially.
I second it, I'm in favour of it.
Those in favour, sorry, the proposal that we stream it, those in favour please indicate.
So who's proposing actually?
Councillor Brown will propose.
I'll second it. I've got to be allowed to second it, surely.
Right, item 15, planning matters for the new chair, Councillor Hull.
Well, I hope you've all read the 8 pages that I sent out in advance. I'll summarise the document and take any questions from the members of the public. So, this is the planning item for the building of outline planning for up to 200 houses on the golf course. The planning appeal is scheduled for September. The deadline for submissions is the 7th of July. As per social media comms, I've shut myself away for 3 days to write this document with all the right references, I hope, to the Vale Local Plan, the Shrivenham Development Plan and the NPPF National. There may be a deliberate mistake in there still, but I think I've got most of the right references in there. The document is in 2 parts. One is the sort of easy to read narrative bit that just summarises the material planning reasons why we oppose this development. The background also, it did not go to a decision at the Vale White Horse because the developers had an inkling, I think, that it was going to be refused. And so they preempted by going straight to the government and say, we're putting an appeal in whatever the Vale say, so we're going to put this in there. So that sort of took the power out of the Vale's hands. So the first part goes through the, I think, 6 primary reasons why we think the appeal should be thrown out. It was all nice wordy stuff so that they can see we're polite civilised people. development and the settlement gap between two villages. And that's the biggest one that we need to keep pushing on. Second is the loss of the trees and green space, and there are tree protection orders and various other things. So environment, the loss of the Shrivenham Park golf course as a amenity for residents, and mental health and everything else that is important these days is absolutely critical. Highways, transport, infrastructure. I did just slip in one comment about the ongoing increase of sewage tankers coming and going because the sewage works is continuing to fail. I'm making a point about that as well in terms of infrastructure. Need for 106 contributions, should they be successful, to make sure they put their hands in their pockets for the provision of various services. And biodiversity, net gain, there's some regional policies there mentioning the SSSI is right next door. So that's all the summary piece, which is where you have a box in the form you can put comments in. So that's the first bit. And then the second part of the document will be a separate loaded paper that goes through the same subjects but quoting all the policy references one by one through the, so it helps them navigate what part of MPPF or environmental matters we actually think they should be refusing to appeal. So that's all there. I do have some late breaking news, because a couple of hours ago I got an email from the Vale. I've been chasing them for quite a long time. So they are aware of what we're doing now. They're obviously being careful because they can't say too much in terms of how our stuff aligns with their stuff, etc., etc. But I don't think there was anything misaligned with what they are working on. I will work with a couple of members of council on the follow-up to this message. They are happy to meet with us. They've given me a couple of tips of other parishes that have gone through the same process recently on this. We're discussing where the inquiry is held, which is still open, and there is a possibility that the deadline is delayed, but watch this space. The deadline for submissions may be delayed because they've got a formal request in, but nothing has been decided yet, so I think we should all carry on as normal. So I am asking council in the first part of this to approve this submission to the Government Inspectorate for the planning appeal.
Just
One second bit.
just with comments. First of all, you've done an absolutely bang-up job, and you've also put up with me sending you a couple of little queries.
Sorry, yes. Go on.
Rule, yes,
Rule 6. I should say.
I was absolutely going to say, what did we decide on Rule 6?
There's a currently a Rule 6, which I think Google would understand a bit more.
Me too, me too.
The Vale are going to work with me when we instigate Rule 6, which means that we can have a representative at the inquiry to cross-examine and do all sorts of fun stuff. So I'm going to ask the Vale for guidance on that. And I don't think it's in the deadline now, but I'll ask the guidance as to who. If you know anybody that has a lawyer expertise in planning,
As I understand it, and I've come fairly new to this you, I think that you can apply for Rule 6 and then spend some time finding something. That's it. And it can be somebody who acts for council pro bono.
Okay.
So if we have somebody in the village who happens, this is their thing, legally qualified, an ex-barrister, something like that. This is something that's been really successfully done by a number of communities on the HS2 route. It's actually brought people out of the woodwork. So Rule 6, it's my belief that we can request that and make sure that we request that before the closing date when we go on to been with somebody,
You can pull out later.
yes. And the other thing, it's a fantastic piece of work, and what I particularly like about it is that it doesn't labour at all, hardly anywhere, on just not wanting more houses, because that actually is a really weak argument.
Yeah.
So it's 8 pages. I mean, it's fulsome, it reads well.
But I did have a couple of digs. At law. Did you notice?
Well, yes.
They're still trying to sell their houses up the road, so why do they want to build it? I don't know.
Exactly. Why would they want to build more when they haven't sold the ones they've built? There was one word which I now can't find, but I'll tell you about that afterwards. But, yeah, there was one word and I thought, oh, that's not the word you meant. But other
Can
than
I
that,
adjust
10
my
out of 10.
proposal then to approve the submission of this document to the planning inspectorate as soon as possible, with any typo amendments that needed,
I'd second that.
and apply for Rule 6. So we can put out if we need to later, but we have the application in, so we can then decide how to do it. Okay, and I'll then talk to bail planners to say the meeting tonight approved our submission and approved a Rule 6 application.
Yeah.
Does everyone understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll second that.
So you're voting?
So this document has to come from the Parish Council office to be submission.
Yeah.
Then any councillor can take any view of this that they want to and submit it individually. Actually, that leads into part 2, so let me stop on that and just say we account part 1. I propose this document and Rule 6 to be approved.
And I second that.
So, all those in favour of approving the document and Rule 6. So, the proposed by Councillor Howell and seconded by Councillor Winfield is being resolved.
So can I finalise the wording with bracketed unanimously now? If it's clear. Okay. The second part then is to discuss the plan of action. So if we could now share this on our website tomorrow, potentially. And also so it can be circulated and shared as wide as possible, which follows through on social media posts at the weekend, and also a social media post that points to the website, because I guess this is too long.
Yeah, you can't attach documents, you can attach
So we can
images, so it's
well,
easier
link
to
to the
link
website,
it.
please say here, it's easy to form a response, and encourage people that are interested in this to just pick the subjects. What I'm led to believe is the more things that the planning inspectorate get that says building on a settlement gap between the villages, environmental issues, health, moving the golf course, the volume of this I think will help the argument say, oh gosh, they really are up in arms about this. Highworth just got their golf course saved. Reading recently had some of their golf course protected. So it's every chance we stand here on this, so just make as much noise as possible and share it. I've now been included in the Chelsea, what's it? The action group.
Yeah.
So I'll share it in the action group as well.
Local action group that has a fair few members. Otherwise, I'm chaining myself to some trees.
Could you put some instructions in there?
There will be instructions in the Facebook post.
Everybody is to what they can do with that information.
I can't lead the witness too much, but I can say there's a lot in here that you can just take this and keep this. And Chelsea can
I'm allowed.
help do that.
Chelsea's going to chain herself to a tree.
Do I
Talk of
understand
which,
that travellers have got the other field?
Investigate.
so the other thing about getting news out there is whether we want to consider a press release or something.
I was wondering about that. It's a good idea to get lots of mail.
Oxford Mail and the Evening Advertiser and BBC locally.
Yeah,
I'm sure would be interesting.
Yeah.
It's nothing like Kent Owenville chaining her parents up to a tree on the golf course.
But I know I'm a troublemaker. No.
We have tried. So it would be good for
It would be good
the
for another
parish council,
attempt.
yeah. To
No, it's
for
going to
the
planning
individual.
inspectorate, it might be a bit
Yeah,
more.
we have tried as
And
the action.
Swindon as well.
Yeah.
Swindon, not.
So
So who's going to do it? Can I just check who's going to do that?
I could help the clerk send something out to formally from the parish council to a couple of media outlets. I've got a template from years ago that I used to use.
Just got to give it to me and then,
And send it out.
I'll approve and I can send it out.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll keep going on planning, sorry.
Yes, please. We're on the neighbourhood plan.
So, neighbourhood plan, we have now started the first steps of reviewing the neighbourhood plan, which was approved and made, is the right term, in 2021. The document carefully refers to the neighbourhood plan because the pre-planning advice in 2022 refers to the newly made neighbourhood plan of this village. Now, the developers are trying to say, oh, it's old and everything else, and say, well, you were told 4 years ago when it was new about this, and it's undergoing review. Now, the research I've done is, it is typical for a neighbourhood plan to go through a 5-year cycle of update.
Yeah, it is.
So, there's no basis to say it's old, etc. It's standard practice in the planning world. So we're going to start a proposal. The planning committee will discuss it on July 29th, and we will go through the necessary steps. We'll discuss it at the next planning meeting to go through the neighbourhood plan, and that will be include a discussion of how we open up to helpers and interested parties to get the job done as quickly and as efficiently as we can.
Finally, say that, well, I've already looked at some of this, and there's an awful lot of it that doesn't need any alteration at all. So it's not as big a job as you might imagine.
That's what
I think 90% of it probably is all good. It's just a few tweaks here and there, or the fact we've got a few new houses here and there, etc., and things like that. Lastly, the update on various planning applications. So the planning committee met a couple of weeks ago. We considered 3 planning applications. One being the farm at Kiston Trip, which is a formality of a condition being removed because of the type of fence that had to be done. It's retrospective, so there was really no issue there, so we had no comments. House extension in Hazel's Lane was reviewed, no significant concerns or comments, so that was no comments were submitted for that one. And a house in Raven Way with the conversion of a proposed conversion of a garage into a playroom or a room. We felt it was okay on the basis that all the front garden had been turned into a driveway already anyway, so the loss of parking space was not a material issue. So those were all discussed with no comments made, but we submitted to make sure that they were clear that we had discussed and reviewed them through our committee. And then we've got lots of outstanding ones, so it's probably in the interest of time. Swiss Cottage, you may refer to at Norfolk Close, that has been refused. Others have been granted. Those still outstanding are land at Townsend Road, 5 single-storey dwellings is still outstanding. And the 10 houses on the former garage at the end there, still no decision, and the planning committee asked me to follow up with the Vale in terms of enforcement because the buildings are occupied, which is a breach of the conditions. So I'll write to Cat in due course on that. So I think that is, there are no new planning applications in the last 2 weeks. It also says on the agenda in terms of the new come with a list, as I've done here, but on the agenda potentially,
Yeah.
of all those
Yeah.
pending any decisions since the last meeting, so you've got like a running list of things to do. I'll shut up that way.
Thank you very much. Next item is allotments.
I will not take that line, I promise you. Fairly simple moment, all our lots are full, we have 3 people on the waiting list. Conditions have been lousy down allotments, and a lot quite older, so there's lots of issues with people with long grass. So I'm doing intermediate inspections on request of other tenants complaining, and anyone will be getting an email if we require a letter. On here it says items, fencing I'm afraid I've had nothing to do with because I've been busy at work, so that would be you and Mr Lloyd. And the water tank, have you put in the application for, so
basically,
no,
So,
so yeah,
Mr Lloyd got the third quote for the fencing we
Yes.
talked about, and he says it's no comparison to Shrivenham.
Yes,
So I imagine
yes.
it's just to know that's the best value. So it probably is going to be Shrivenham.
Yeah.
It seems like we just need the time to look at it. And then the water tank.
Yeah.
But I know these are
It was applying for a grant for it,
And I know there's issues with our current water
I've
tank.
seen
which
it.
we have not yet done.
Yeah,
I will keep an eye out though for relevant grants
yeah, no,
that will cover it.
very nice and quick, simple. Done.
Thank you. The hub update, Councillor Jones.
Yeah, didn't do that last month. This month, well, the hub's now been reopened. I expect all of you have been into the hub. And it's combining its previous offerings with the popular wish for a room under one roof. Repair Cafe continues, but it's in the Methodist Church and it's on the 4th Saturday of the month. Ridgeway School, which is the SEND school in High Street, there's no current plans for an open day, the head said, but they are considering another community open day in July so local people can come and see how the school's got on after a year. The Shrivenham School had a new playground opened in April, and they're going to send me some photographs, I hope, so you can see it. I'll send them to the councillors when I get it. I'm sad to say this, all avenues have been explored. Sadly, the 150-year-old statue, which was close to my heart at the time, but once was outside the old school, has found to be beyond repair, at a reasonable cost, I'm afraid. The gel coat on the figure had failed, and the fiberglass was allowing water to get in, which caused metal to corrode and fail, and it's now been removed. So I apologise to you, Nathan, because the Unite Union has found the money for it, but it was just, I think, it just left there, and that's what happened to it, and it's not there anymore.
That covers school year as well, thank you. Emergency planning update, Councillor Winfrey.
Very little actually to update in terms of material progress with it. I now have the current emergency plan in my possession. Thank you very much, Lynn, for I think you can get to up in the attic and move the old boxes up there, and there it was. So our emergency plan dates back to 2019. So it's horribly out of date. Not just in terms of the names and the contact details that we've got, but certainly in the kinds of threats and emergencies that we might face as a community. COVID hadn't happened in 2019, so we've never considered what would you do if there was a major health outbreak. And so I am going to be working on that. I've begun by reaching out to some of the official organisations where we've got a website and contact details. So what I've actually done is I've reached out to all of those official channels to say, are you still the correct official channel? And the response that I got from Oxfordshire County Council was rather marvellous, because they said, we will help you by looking at your draft, and we will assist you with templated copies from other parish councils. So I was really pleased actually to get that response straight away.
something as a draft outline at least to put before council for our September meeting. So yeah, something to keep you busy across the summer.
Lovely, thank you very much. Other meetings, the FATAC meeting. Want to say anything?
Yes, so I attended FATAC meeting at Barrington Town Council.
Which is FATAC is?
Yes, I was just going to ask you about what that means.
Barrington area.
Traffic Advisory Committee with Councillor Vauxhall, and it was really useful because I did clerk the planning meeting about the Wickersham Quarry Science Park. At the time, there was talk of a footbridge that would go over from very close to where I actually live, over, that would allow the horses and pedestrians to go across, which wouldn't interfere with the traffic. And I was told that it would cost £5 to £8 million, and we didn't have enough silver for it, right? And it was not asked for by Farringdon Town Council because it was not in the neighbourhood plan. And I'm very upset about it, as is a lot of other people. There is a park very, very close, a stone's throw from the A420. All they have done is put a pedestrian crossing. So if you like to stand on that pedestrian crossing with lorries going at 50 miles an hour, how relaxed do you feel? So what the alternative is to, when the first resident goes in, I know it's not the first resident, it's when it's not, the alternative is traffic lights. So you have more traffic lights there. So I'll take even longer.
Can I just clarify something?
Yeah.
You were there in a personal capacity.
I was there in a personal capacity, and I'm not on the committee. I was there as a resident. I wanted to know exactly where, so I was asking the question, what happened? I told them exactly what I said to you, but I know it's confusing because
I have to say that this really is of no concern to this council. I have to say that, and also, Councillor Vauxhall is our representative.
She is.
So if we've got any issues, we take them up with her.
That's noted. But the fact is that's to show the power of an neighbourhood plan, and that's what we have to do.
I just wanted to clarify.
Okay, thank you. Right, any agenda items for the next
Before we
meeting?
get to that, Mr. Chairman, I think it would be wrong of us to let this moment pass when this is the last meeting of our finance officer. And we ought to be thanking her. I would like to thank her for the 10 years service that she's given to this parish council, and say how sad we are to see her go, and to wish her good luck in her new job.
Still not funding, but I'm going to say that because I think in fact intended to conclude this part of the saying thank you very much indeed once again. And we wish you well. On that basis, the date of the next meeting is due to be Wednesday the 2nd of September, unless an emergency meeting is called, which is possible. Not likely, but possible. Thank you very much, Oswald. Thank you, members of the public. We will be adjourning. We will swap to the BBT meeting.